Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Malika and I'm an expat and travel creator, and today we're talking about mistakes not to make when you are visiting Paris. I've been to Paris maybe 5 or 6 times at this point and recently had my destination wedding in St-Émilion, which is about 2 hours from Paris. I've learned so much about the city in my time there, so I wanted to share these travel tips that I hope will help you as you start planning your trip. So keep watching for 10 mistakes not to make when you're in Paris. Number 1, not learning any French. Okay, so this is something that will probably make you way happier on your trip to Paris. Learn some basic French. There are some places in the world where you can travel and everyone will happily speak to you in English, but in France it will be noticed if you don't even attempt to learn any French. And now obviously no one's going to expect you to be perfectly fluent for just a place you're visiting on vacation, but a simple bonjour, ça va, pardon will get you a long way when you're visiting Paris. And I've been studying French for like a little while. I'm of course nowhere near fluent. I started studying like a little bit more seriously during the beginning of the pandemic, all online. And so I will leave links to some of my favorite online learning platforms in the description box below. So definitely a few months before your trip, start learning some basics. And I really do mean basics, but just focus on proper accent and pronunciation. Number 2, only doing touristy stuff. The tourist sites in Paris are amazing, and it's obvious why the city is one of the most visited in the world, and it really is one of my favorite places in the world. But when you go, don't spend all your time museum hopping and going to all the super well-known places. There are beautiful villages, small secluded vineyards, beautiful parks that really won't make it on any of the top things to do in Paris just because they're just not so famous. So try to spend at least one day exploring a new area, a suburban part of Paris, or just doing something unique to have a different experience on your trip. I'm also a big fan of Airbnb experiences. You can find a lot of really cool opportunities to do things like cooking classes, specialized tours, historical stuff, random like walking through a new area. So just do some research based on your interests and have fun. Number 3, not researching restaurants and making reservations. I feel like people make this mistake a lot in Europe, and I totally don't know why, but especially in places that are considered to be foodie capitals. You wouldn't walk into any old restaurant anywhere in America and expect the food to be amazing, so why would you have the same expectation for a restaurant in Paris? There is bad food everywhere. Anywhere you go, you can find bad food. So be sure you're planning, looking into restaurants that you want to eat at based on the ambiance, the reviews, the budget, the food quality, and also be sure to make reservations, especially if you're coming in a peak time like around summer or the holiday season. A lot of places in Paris do online bookings, so you don't have to worry about calling internationally and speaking French on the phone, but definitely do make those reservations in advance. Number 4, only eating French food. Yes, you are in Paris, French food is amazing. Obviously, French food in Paris is the thing that you want to do, but Paris is also a city full of incredible restaurants of all types. So don't be afraid to try different types of cuisines, because you can find all types of different types of food, from like Thai, Italian, Lebanese, everything. And actually one of my favorite restaurants in Paris is 𝐃𝐨, which is an Asian fusion rooftop restaurant lounge. It's amazingly stylish and has some gorgeous views. So as you're researching restaurants and making those reservations, think about trying something new or a different type of food. Number 5, overpacking your itinerary. Another one of the biggest mistakes you can make when you come to Paris is jam-packing your itinerary. And yes, there's so much to see and so much to do, but Paris really is a city that is best enjoyed at a slow and measured pace. If you don't leave any time to leisurely stroll through the streets, have a glass of wine at a cafe, walk around and window shop the stylish boutiques, then like what are you even doing? I promise you won't get to fully experience the magic of Paris if you're doing everything at breakneck speeds. So plan your itinerary thoughtfully and be sure to leave room each day for some relaxation and spontaneous wandering around. Number 6, not greeting when you enter a store. So in America, we are used to having greeters come up to us to welcome us when we go into a store, but in France it's actually the opposite. So you never enter a shop in France without saying anything to the owner or shopkeeper. It is considered incredibly rude and basically guarantees that you will not get good service. A simple bonjour madame will go a long way. And I also think it's really important for Black travelers like myself to learn about these different cultural intricacies in places we visit. Because if you walk in a shop in France and the owner basically like rolls her eyes at you and ignores you, you're gonna think it's racist, but it's probably not because she's racist. She's probably just offended by you not saying hello to her when you came in her store, and you not following their customs and her feeling very disrespected. So different customs and traditions are also why people assume Parisians can be very rude, but it's actually not really the case. They're just direct and expect you to adhere to their customs as a visitor, and they're not necessarily accommodating to people who disrespect them. So do some research, watch more videos, learn about the place you're going before you go. Number 7, don't pay for tap water in Paris. The tap water is perfectly safe to drink, you just have to know how to order it. The French don't really use the term tap water, but you usually order your water by the jug or carafe. So be sure to ask for un carafe d'eau, unless you actually do prefer bottled water, and then in that case ask for a bottle or say the brand like Evian. Number 8, not getting a VAT receipt when you go shopping. First of all, Paris has incredible shopping, so when you go, be sure to leave room in your luggage and in your budget to bring back some amazing finds, because you will find some fantastic stuff. And don't forget to ask for an itemized receipt before you leave the store. That includes the extra info they will need at the airport to process your refund. So we were in Paris for my wedding week. My husband surprised me with this gorgeous 𝐬𝐼 bracelet, like it was so pretty, but he forgot to get the VAT receipt, so we could have gotten a 25% refund, but did not. The amount that you get back varies, but it really can be a nice amount. So before you leave the shop, make sure you get the itemized receipt, tell them it's for your VAT refund, and then take that to the tax refund office at the airport. And I don't mean just the luxury brands, like anything you buy is eligible for the tax return. So get those receipts and also get to the airport early so you have time to get your money back. Number 9, not getting good travel pics. Travel pictures are not just for influencers, guys. You deserve to have a beautifully documented trip. Paris is a stunning city, and your trip deserves to have beautiful photos that you can look back on and remember it. So don't just rely on your friend's crappy cell phone pictures. You can treat yourself to a professional photo shoot with a real local photographer. I have done this every time I've been in Paris, and trust me, it has been so worth it. These photographers know the best spots for photos, they can suggest unique locations, they can help you pose, get off the beaten path, and just have an amazing time. And you'll usually get your photos back within 2 to 3 days, so you don't have to wait that long to start posting. I'm gonna leave links in the description box for some of the ones that I have booked, and some of the ones that are on my list that I heard about are really great. So I think it's definitely worth the investment to have beautiful Paris vacation photos that you will look back on and remember forever. And number 10, dressing over the top. Obviously, Paris is a fashion capital, but if you're feeling inspired by anything you saw Emily in Paris wear, or from the American Paris episode of Sex and the City, just immediately get those ideas out of the head because they look ridiculous. Those outfits are giving clown, okay? And you will turn heads in the worst way. The American interpretation of French style is very over the top, but it's really not at all reflective of the way French women really dress. They are much more minimalistic and elegant. It's not like ruffles and mixed prints and obnoxious hats all thrown together. So if you're looking for a real French fashion inspo, think more Camille or Sophie from Emily in Paris instead of Emily. And also scroll through French Vogue's Instagram, look at Parisian influencers to see how stylish women in Paris actually dress. So that's it, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, please share it, please drop a comment below, it really helps this channel. And this is the first video in a series I'm thinking about starting on 10 mistakes not to make in other places I've visited, especially places I've visited multiple times and I kind of know the cities a little bit better. So if you would be interested in that series, let me know in the comments, and also what city you'd be curious learning about next. And if you find this helpful, check out my other travel videos, subscribe. Thank you so much again for watching, and I will catch you in the next video.